Call this meeting to order. Determine there's a quorum present. We have Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. If y'all will please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Commissioner Flores, if you don't mind.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
I ate chocolate right before I got here. I could have read that. Yes. Approving the minute. Item 5. I have a motion. Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. I'm just going to read these, not just in the order that they're on top of the desk. Mr. Mayor, Lori, please.
Good evening. My name is Lori Reyes. I'd like to call your attention to a statement made earlier this month by the Commissioner of the International Boundary and Water Commission regarding the Lake Amistad Dam. She stated, Amistad has been declared by the Corps of Engineers as potentially unsafe. That's a level 2. There's a level 1, which is an even higher level of urgency, end quote. In a report issued by the IBWC in 2007, they encouraged the development and testing of evacuation plans by local jurisdictions responsible for flood-prone areas. Are there any evacuation plans in place if the Amistad Dam fails? The sinkholes that require repair are on the Mexican side of the dam. It's been nearly 16 years since that report came out. Mexico has still not made the necessary repairs. If the dam fails, a flash flood would wipe out a large portion of Del Rio, including Vega Verde Road, likely the winery area, and Qualia. Please investigate this and take steps to protect the lives of the citizens of Val Verde County. Thank you.
Can I address that in the judge's comments real quick?
Oh, you already did it. Not going to do it. Mr. Rodriguez, Sergio.
Good evening, everyone. County Judge, County Commissioners. My name is Sergio Rodriguez. I am the president of Escondido Estates Resident Association. I won't take too much of your time tonight. I know we are on the agenda, a very important issue that we've been addressing for the past few years. But I just wanted to quickly let everyone know on October the 25th, when that was the last time that they gave the residents of Escondido Estates in this court an update on our pressure issue. It was pretty much the same comment. We're waiting on an engineer's report. Personnel keeps changing, which makes it really hard, to get a hold of someone, which it's understandable. But at that time, County Engineer Carlos Velarez was asked if there was a deadline, because there was a deadline to, for them to pretty much meet our demand, and the response was December 2023. So we are very eager to, kind of find out what the result of that engineering report is, and hopefully fix the pressure issue on a timely matter. On a positive note, I fully believe that all citizens' comments should not, not all of them should be negative. I am a person that acknowledges when something is done correctly. So on behalf of Escondido Estates and Rancho del Rio, I wanted to say thank you, Commissioner Wardlaw, thank you, fellow commissioners and county judge. In regards to our second entrance, a few years ago, I came to this court and addressed the issue that in our residential area, there's only one way in, one way out, both in Escondido Estates and Rancho del Rio. And, I made it a point to let you guys know that the obstruction was happening on a daily basis by the train. This court took action, developed a game plan, and, it took a little longer than expected, but of course, due to circumstances beyond this court's control. But I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. That second entrance is looking great. Hopefully we'll get it done, fairly quickly. So like I said, I don't think it should just be negative comments. Just wanted to say thank you to you guys for that second entrance as well. Have a good day.
Thank you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and adjourn. Go home. Not really. Chris, Leos?
Thank you, Judge Owens and Commissioners, for allowing me this time. I'm here representing Escondido Estates. I know you heard earlier from Mr. Rodriguez. I'd like to address one of the issues that I've been listening to the people out there, and I'm going to use what my dad used to say, the shotgun effect. I'm going to shoot at one, but hopefully it hits everybody. Our problem is we would like to see our Commissioner Wardlaw, out there talking to our residents. You were our commissioner back in the 80s, and I remember you in the back of a pickup truck talking to us. I know since then we've got cell phones, we've got social media, but eyeball to eyeball still has not replaced that. We'd like to see you, and we'd like you to set the standards. We know that you're fixing to retire. You know, we know that you've got a year that you still have to represent us. We'd like to see you set up a standard for the other ones that are coming in. A lot of them are interested in your chair, but you are the only one that can help us at this point. By going out there and talking to these people and listening to what they say. We can all come in and sit down, listen to your agendas and everything, but it's not the same. Not the same because we can tell you exactly what we're experiencing out there. Yes, we've been asking for water. I've been out there 48 years, and after 48 years, I saw you give water to the people in the front. Is it going to take another 50 years for the people in the back? Those are the questions that people have out there for you. And I'm pleading you, come out and talk to us. You don't have to call anybody and tell anybody, I got to set a meeting. You posted right there in the interest. This is the day I want to talk to the residents, and we'll be out there for you. But we want you to show the people that are trying to fill your shoes that there's a standard to be set out there at Escondido. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Is it Ricardo? Yes, sir.
I'm going to take quite a few minutes of your time, guys, because this is going to be a long one.
You've got 5 minutes.
It's more than 5 minutes, it's like
You've
15.
got 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, county commissioners. Good evening, Honorable Judge Owens. My name is Ricardo Galvan. Some of you already know me, some of you don't. I'm a father of 5. My wife and I have helped our kids to achieve their goals without a college education, just hard work and the good guidance of God. Now, you may wonder, why am I here and why is this relevant? I'm going to be brief and trying to summarize my concerns now that you cut off my time. My presence here is to voice my discontent and my outrage about the tax abuse you guys are imposing against our properties. Throughout the county, city, hospital, district, this abuse is insane. It is an insult, not just for me, but for the whole community in this county. Now, the worst part and the sad part of this offense is that your guys' properties are not appraised the same as we are, and do not fall on the same tax bracket that our properties do. And now this, ladies and gentlemen, this is called influence peddling, abuse of power, and the last time I checked these two terms, they could be considered a political crime or a federal crime. The reason I say this is because I have a property in Valverde State, to be exact, 328 Wayback, right practically across 2 10-acre plots that belong to Mr. Juan Vasquez, County Commissioner Precinct 2. His land has been fenced, has been cleared of brush, has 2 3,000 square foot buildings on it. All these improvements have been made, and he still is under appraised at $6,000, with an special exclusion of nearly $5,900. His appraisal value is $215, but my property right across the street from his, that is 70 by 100, is appraised at $28,000. Now, just the fence on this man's property is about $10,000 a piece. This man pays the ridiculous amount of $3.24, while I'm paying nearly $500 on my property. Now, Mr. Gustavo Vasquez also has properties. Just one of his 10-acre plots is under appraised at $10,000, but has a special exclusion, $10,075, making his appraisal value of $365. But my property in San Felipe that is $100,500 is appraised nearly to $90,000. But before I bought it, it was condemned by the city because it was not considered in livable conditions. I'm paying nearly $2,000 from that property tax, while Mr. Flores pays $5.56. He has more properties that are under appraised than Mr. Vasquez does, and they're paying nickels and pennies of property tax. Now, I'm building a new home for my wife and myself. I'm trying to retire 5 years from now. I'm gonna jump. But Mr. Warland and Mr. Middleton have land, lots of land and big, nice homes on it, but they also have the special exclusions. Their tax bills are less than $2,000 on their homes, while my property is at $5,000. This is insane. This is an insult. Mr. Middleton has more than $500,000 tax exclusion, and he's paying $1,900 on property tax. Mr. Warland has 3 one-acre lots. They're paying 77 cents a piece. This is insane. And I'm paying $5,000 on my property. Guys, I've done my homework. I've done my research to voice my concerns about this insane taxation. While you county commissioners, city council members, school board members, hospital board members are using your political position, your political power to pay less taxes than the people that have elected you. And like I said at the beginning of my speech, this is abuse of power or considered influence peddling. Now, I am going to expose all these tax records on social media. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm going to make as much noise as the bombs dropping in Gaza are not going to be as loud as the rattle that I'm going to make in this damn county, because this abuse has to stop. I am going to expose your corruption on social media as much as I can until you guys do something about this BS, and excuse my French, because you guys have put us against the wall with this taxation abuse. Guys, we have a lot of elderly people, like my 85-year-old father that's living on his social paying security check. We have many people like them. How can you sleep at night, Mr. Vasquez? How can you sleep at night, Mr. Flores, Mr. Middleton, Mr. Warlock, Mr. Owens? How am I going to pay for my little girl college education when you guys are putting your hands inside my pocket, driving nearly $10,000 on property tax on a yearly basis? With that amount, I can pay at Angelo AU, which is the cheapest college in Texas. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You're supposed to protect us. You're supposed to work for us. We trusted you guys. We trusted you with our homes, with our hard work. And the first thing you do, grab the biggest spoon you could ever find to get your bank accounts fatter. Giving a can of beans to the people in this county, to the poor people in this county, does not give you the right to steal from them. You guys are like the radical communist regime that breaks people's legs and gives them the crunches and then asks them to thank you. I have always to stay away from politics because I'm not political material, because I don't have the character, and I get mad to quit. But this abuse has to stop. And the only way to stop it is to come forward and challenge you guys to vote for this and change this taxation. Every single time I was told there was no budget to do street signs in my property because my kids love to play on the streets when they were little boys. And every single time that I asked them, they told me there was no budget for that. I know where the budget was going. It was going to your high bank accounts. Do you guys know that the per capita salary in this county is $36,000 per head? And every young couple has dreams to build in their own home, but with this taxation, it would be nearly impossible for these young couples to build their American dream home. But Mr. Owens' salary is $90,000 a year with a $28,000 allowance. Shame on you guys. What the hell is wrong with you guys? I come here to ask you to change this taxation. I came here to beg you to change this taxation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an abuse, and it has to stop. It's not acceptable. It's an insult. It is unethical to the citizens that have elected you. We elected you to care for us. We elected you to maximize the potential of this county. We didn't elect you to take advantage of your political power. We did not elect you to take advantage of your political position. We elected you to serve us. We elected you to do the right thing. You still have a chance to do the right thing. Lower our taxes. I'm going to close with an Edward Snowden quote. Allowing the government to intimidate its people for threats and retaliation for revealing the corruption and the wrongdoing is contrary to the public interest.
I've got one question under judge's comments. So you're accusing the court, just to be perfectly clear, of getting our values, of basically doing stuff illegal. Is that what you just did?
Well,
No, I'm not asking.
I'm seeing it on the record.
No, I'm asking you a
I'm seeing
simple
it,
question.
well,
Did you just accuse the
yes.
court of doing something
I'm not accusing, I'm showing, I've got them.
No.
Because
I'm asking you a simple question.
I'm just gonna respond to
Because
that.
tomorrow morning, if you're accusing me of doing something illegal, we will have a lawsuit on our hands, and you're gonna have to prove this up.
Just put it this way, I've been.
No. I'm asking you a simple question, and I know that he's over there looking at me, that's why I'm not looking over there. But some of the points that you brought up, we get taxed just the same as everybody else.
I don't think so, sir. Excuse my interruption, but I don't think so. You know why? Because his property is right across mine.
No, and
there's not even a
wait a minute,
cheap, if he's gonna,
wait a minute, the way it works is, I'll speak, I get it, and you can correct me later, or whatever. The properties are valued on the first of the year. If I do improvements, any improvements, you do an improvement, they do an improvement, and anybody does an improvement during the year, that value is not added to the property until the first of the year. So when you come up here and accuse, sir, that different properties, whether it be Hammer or anybody out here, that value on that property will increase on the first of the year. Okay?
I know that.
Well,
I know that. Now, let me point this out that you're asking me this question. I got my property right next to his for the last 3 years. If he's gonna exempt agriculture, I'm Aggie exempt. Because I have a property in Kinney County. And now I know how it works. There's not even a chicken on his property to claim Aggie exempt.
No.
There's nothing there.
I think.
No, you don't, I mean, I'm sure he's right. Now, Mr. Flores has horses. Horses are not Aggie exempt.
I don't have horses. Hold it, let's quit. Your time's
saw
up, sir.
horses there.
Your time's up, and I really do thank you for coming. Okay? I really do.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 17, we're gonna move to item 17 real quick. Discussion, possible action to update the court on the Seneca Road project. Y'all wanna come up?
Good evening, Judge,
We left you.
Commissioners.
Stay back in the line.
Carlos Perales with TXIDG. With me this evening is Jesse Ramos, also with TXIDG. As Mr. Velasquez gets these images on screen for y'all to see, we'll discuss them. The first one I want to show was kind of a typical section. Of course, I'm here to give an update on the Seneca's Road project. This project was assigned to us, I want to say back in June, July. We've been meeting regularly with Commissioner Flores and his staff on a monthly basis at least, just to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. This is a very good, well-worth project that we need to work on, 1.67 miles, if you would, from the county line to the duck pond. Actually, the bridge that's at the duck pond, that's where we're going to terminate this project. The typical section that you see is what we're kind of proposing, and just for everybody's benefit, you all may or may not have seen this earlier. We're proposing 3 lanes, 3 11-foot lanes for a curb and gutter section. That's one of the propositions that we came up with at the very beginning, was to do a curb and gutter as opposed to a rural section, just because of the confined right-of-way that we have. So there's existing 50-foot, for most of the right-of-way there, or a large portion of Cienegas Road has 50-foot right-of-way. With that, we can do this type of typical, with 3 lanes, accommodating the left turn lane for the crossings at the major intersections that you all have. Now, the typical that you see at the bottom is where we're confined to 40 feet of right-of-way. That we're proposing not a reconstruction so much as a mill and overlay. Number 2, we feel that the road is, sure, the road looks deteriorated right now. We feel it's something that's in the surface. And I think that a mill and overlay would help in this area. The section, the length of this, the limits of this typical that we're proposing is more or less from Owens Road up to the bridge at Duck Pond. So that'll do 2 things. It'll kind of work within the right-of-way that we have. We won't need to purchase additional right-of-way. And it'll also make the road look really nice. And when we stripe it, it'll look like it's brand new. And, okay, given that footprint of a curb and gutter, well, that came the issue. But the major obstacle we have this project, as you all know, is drainage. Just like on every transportation project, drainage is an issue here, even more in this project where you have a large watershed contributing to this road. In discussions with Mr. Flores and the staff, recently we came up with like 3 or 4 options, looked at the money value, cost benefit ratio. It looks like doing an outfall, like what you're seeing right now in the image, is something that we would like to propose. What this entails is not acquiring right of way so much as getting purchasing a 75-foot easement. In that, you can see what we want to do is pretty much drain it from, I believe that road is industrial, on Cienegas.
No, it's not industrial. That one?
Yes.
Okay. It's right where the curve.
Where the curve is, yeah, where the curve is. And what we'd like to do is bring the drainage from the bridge at Duck Pond south, or east if you would, to this point, and likewise on the other direction, from the county line to this point, merge the 2 trunk lines and propose a 72-inch pipe that we have. You can see there's 72 by 720 feet under that land there, and then open up a ditch all the way to the end where the Duck Pond does open up. I guess, can you move it up to the end? And this goes through 2 properties, and again, it will be an easement. It'd be in the back of the property, so we think that the value will be kind of low on acquiring such property. At the very end, just because we're tying into the Duck Pond, we want to go ahead and propose 2 30-inch pipes by 126, and to berm it up there as we tie into the Duck Pond drainage. We want to rip wrap that. One of the issues with this is a real nice ditch. Let's go to the typical, please. We'll show the typical section of what it's going to look like.
This is a real nice ditch. Technical terms.
Yeah, we're proposing a 75-foot drainage easement. This would allow us to have a 5-foot bottom. There's variations of this that we can do. We can go with a 60 or 50-foot easement, but then you have the real steep slopes that you may have to rip wrap them, and the cost goes up. So we're trying to do something to minimize costs. So the maximum we can go is a 3-to-1 without rip wrapping. So given that, and given the depth of this ditch is going to be about 8 feet, we need that much, and also to allow for a 15-foot maintenance road there for the landowners to have. So this is kind of what the ditch would look like. It's plenty large for really good retention. Kind of solves the drainage issue on Cienegas Road.
And we had talked about, Commissioner Flores, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had talked also about maybe a retention tank, and you said there would probably be no reason for a retention tank if we could do something within this to sort of slow the water down. That way it's not running.
Yeah, that is one of the problems with velocity, because we have such a steep slope that we would have to do maybe some kind of dissipators or weir if we need to, or something like that. But that is a concern that we'll have to address once we get to the final design on that, yes. But in essence, this is our ditch. This is the outfall that we have. And I think it's a really good idea, and it's really the only way that we could drain this project and keep within the budget that we've been set for.
When do y'all think that we might start looking at the portion of construction, or going out for bids for construction? We're still too far away from that, or?
Well, given this, that we have the clearance on this, if you all give us clear direction to just proceed with this option, the next thing is, and I already met with the surveyors and kind of turned them loose, they need to start establishing their ground control first. They're going to fly the job, so we can obtain the good imagery now. They're going to give us their elevations, the topography of all the land, including the driveways, structures, and everything that's out there. Once that's done, it'll take them probably 2 months to do. We'll work concurrently with the environmental folks. They can start already sending out the letters that they need to do. I understand these waters are not jurisdictional, but it'll still take probably 6 months, starting in January, for the environmental to be done. You're talking that in the summer sometime. Environmental to be clear. By then, survey will be done. Most of the design will be done. I don't see why we couldn't let this, and this is, please don't hold me on this, but maybe later in the year of 2024.
Okay. Mr. Velada, do you have anything to add to this? Any new updates or questions concerning the project?
The project's working good.
Y'all have any questions for him? We're good? Y'all have any questions? I looked over there.
Too late. It's over.
Judge, I have another item under my, it's pretty much talking about moving forward with the signature and phase 2.
On which one? You've got a lot of items.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. 28.
Yes.
No action was needed on 17. We'll go to item 28. Discussion possible action on phase 2 of design of Syndigus Road project.
Yeah, when it was awarded, as a whole contract. It was just pending, authorization for your signature on phase 2, Judge.
So you need authority from the court for me to sign phase 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at no extra cost,
No,
for sure.
for sure.
Do we need a motion for this?
Please.
Yes, I'll make the motion, and they have a judge sign, phase 2 design of the Syndigus Road project.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Don't be kind. Motion carries, 5-0. And if y'all don't mind, we're gonna jump around a little bit. We're gonna go to item 33, discussion possible action on update on Escondido booster station system. We have been waiting. Where's that going? Sergio Rodriguez, Luke? Okay, please. We have been waiting. We did get a response, from TRC. The dollar amount on what they quoted us, what the cost of this project was going to be was three something and change.
Yeah, so we have two options for that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we received the engineering report from TRC, and then we have two available options for the pump system. Option 1 will be in the price range between $200,000 and $307,000. Option 2 is going to be between the price range of $265,000 and $568,000. The difference is pretty much option 1 is going to be the option 1 has the most concerns on the system, just because we're going to be replacing the 3 pumps, not just one. And then by doing that, you're going to create what we call the water hammer effect. So if you increase the water flow, we might damage some of the pipe that we have there. This water hammer is a pressure surge caused by the rapid change in flow rate. The sudden change in momentum exerts large forces within the water distribution system and can cause damage to the pipe. With this option, we just need to take care of that effect, and we're going to be increasing the flow by 450 gallons per minute.
Bottom line is the more expensive one. We have grants that we can apply for, to go through there, because one of the issues, well, not one of the issue that we're having a problem with is because of the fire hydrants. It isn't the amount of pressure for the houses, it's how much pressure and how many gallons per minute we will have on the fire hydrants. That's the concern. There are grants out there, that we can apply for, because of the fire. More grants, money to extend water lines, they're out there too, but you really don't want to go do anything more to the water lines, extend anything else until we take care of the issue with the fire and make sure that we're up to the gallons per minute that are required at a fire hydrant at a certain amount of pressure. So, we will get with Carl, and check and see what monies are out there that we can go apply for. If there's not anything there, visiting with Commissioner Wardlaw, then we will look at another plan, in the next couple of weeks to figure out which way we're gonna run. All right, I know that y'all have been waiting, for a dollar amount, just like we had when we first started. We were talking $75,000, $100,000. We actually set aside $100 and some odd $1,000. And the first chunk of that money went for the company to do the study, and that was like a $29,000 deal. We're not happy at all with TRC and with what they gave us for the $29,000. We actually believed that we would, and you correct me at any time I'm wrong, we actually believed that we would have something to be able to go out for bid, not them give me an estimate. I want a detailed drawing in order to be able to go out for bid. That part is not, it wasn't part of this. Right now, I can use the dollar amounts to apply for a grant, but at the end of the day, I still have to have a drawing of what the heck they're wanting to be able to submit to TCEQ and whoever we're going to apply for the grant. Did that answer your question? You got more questions?
Not what we wanted to hear, but I'll definitely follow up with either your commissioner or a little more information.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, it wasn't what we wanted to hear, because when we started all this, we thought we could sort of fix it for $100.
They just gave you a dollar amount, they didn't give you an actual drawing, which is what.
There's no drawing to the $29,000, what they gave us for $29,000. Yeah. So, when I asked Commissioner Wardlaw right now if we'd be okay moving it up, and he said, yeah, please. So that's how come we moved it up. That way y'all have a better understanding of what's going on. All right.
Judge, may I make a statement?
Of course.
Concerning Escondido Estates, don't forget that at the end of the day, everything has to be approved by the city of Del Rio. They own the water. So sometimes dealing with them slows down the process quite a bit.
That has nothing to do with this issue.
With this right here, I will tell you that when we first started, I guess a year ago, right? Or the beginning of this year.
With this?
Yeah, with this project. When we started, we didn't know that we thought we were going to be able to design it, build it, and go on. And then they wanted the company that did the first design to design it, basically not Carlos. So then we had to go back to TRC. And then the mess started, just because they kept switching people on us.
I know they said at one time, and correct me if I'm wrong, that as long as he signed off on it, they would be okay with it.
Who?
That's what the public works directors.
As long as you signed off on it.
Basically, you are correct. First, they didn't want his report, they wanted from someone else, but then they came back and said as long as he signed off on it,
No.
that they would be okay with it.
No.
He was in that meeting, by the way.
I can tell you that when we visited with them, they wanted something from whoever designed the initial plan. And that's how come we were waiting. Okay. If not, we would have drawn the plans and we'd have been
I
on.
remember when I got them both together and Carlos was there, and I think he specifically said it, you know what?
And I can tell you that I was told by the city that TRC, somebody needed to design it other than us. And that's how come we went down the road with TRC, because they are the ones that had designed the initial deal, the initial plan. All good? Now you're thinking,
No,
right now's the time.
I am thinking, because I was in the same meeting that Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Velazquez were.
And I didn't know about the meeting, didn't show up because I didn't know, but I will tell you that we were told that TRC, whoever designed the plan, the first one needed to design, we needed to get a design from them if possible, or get somebody else to design it other than us. And it needed to be presented, and the TCEQ would have to approve it.
Is this something that Mr. Velazquez can do? Can you design it?
I will say that at this point, I would say that at this point, because we've already spent the $29,000, these guys need to go ahead and give us something. And that way, the warranty or whatever we have on what we already installed, we're already going down this rabbit hole. I mean, we need to continue.
No turning back?
Did they give you a deadline, Judge, by any chance?
Carlos is still looking at what they submitted, the submittals to us, to come up with a list of questions so him and Commissioner Wardlaw can go over with these individuals. All right?
Thanks.
The biggest obstacle is going to be the money. It is what it is. I know that in visiting with some of the other commissioners, they have other projects, that they would want to get done. So here pretty soon, we're going to have to prioritize which way we're running on some of these projects versus trying to do them all at once. It's not going to be possible.
And we're just 2 months into the school year.
It is what it is. Yeah. 3 months. Was that it?
Thank you. Commissioner John, have any questions on that?
No, sir. Thanks, sir. Appreciate you.
Item 7, I'm sorry, I skipped around a little bit, but, item 7, approving reports from elected officials. Yes, sir. Commissioner Flores, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0, approving bills for payment.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, discussion possible action approve the auditor's report.
Move. Second.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, discussion possible action on final certification of revenue, Texas Association of Counties, $880, precinct 2, mobile equipment for hail damage.
Move.
Second. Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Is that precinct 2 operating on that? Sorry to interrupt. Is that precinct 2 operating?
Yes,
sir. But the money, we've been putting,
For large damages and the settlements, this looked like it was just a single event, single small, less than $1,000 event typically, but we can if you want to.
well, we just need to make sure that the money's there in order for him to use to go spend it on what needs to be repaired. Does that make sense?
It does.
Right?
Makes sense, right? So operating,
Operating,
I think would be great. We're gonna end up repairing it right away, so.
Okay.
we had a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, is that right? You okay with that?
Yeah.
Second, Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any against, motion carries 5-0. Item 11, discussion possible action on following budget adjustments. A, budget adjustment, $96,000 from general capital to IT. Bottom line is this one here, for computers, refresh program, and then 5,600 co-op contracts, and then 90,000 Dell. We have the money in there, they're just moving it over so they can spend it on what Ram had already given us on this stuff.
I'll second that then.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. B, budget adjustment $7 from general capital to Veterans Capital 400 office. Okay.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. C, budget adjustment, $13,468.55 from general capital and split into 63rd, 83rd District Court capital, $9,000 for removing existing carpet, 63rd Court capital, $39 ice machine and whatever. This is part of, we'd set aside, $200,000 for improvements for the 83rd, 63rd. So this is where this money's coming from.
Motion to approve.
How big a ice machine we buying?
It's a new one. It's not about the same thing y'all ended
How
up.
big is it? We'd have to look at the quote.
No, I mean, is it
Exact
just
size.
for the 83rd, or is it for the whole building?
The whole building. They'll be able to use it. It's about the same type, it is the same size as what y'all ended up getting. I think y'all were getting one.
Okay, if we're getting one.
Yeah. Motion. Second. Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Item 12, discussion possible action approved treasurer's report. We do have one. Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 13, discussion possible action on setting aside $30,000 to Del Rio Chamber of Commerce to promote the solar eclipse event in the city of Del Rio and the county.
Motion to approve. This, we're just gonna do it in the county? We can't take it out of hotel motel tax if we do it in the county? Or is this gonna be statewide?
They're gonna end up, when you say advertising?
Where it says
Yeah, they're gonna
in the
advertise.
city and county, I'm just asking.
Well, the event will be,
Advertising.
the event will be in the city.
The advertising is
Yeah.
statewide?
Yeah.
Motion to approve out of, hotel motel tax.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. You threw me for a loop.
Well, the way it was written.
No, I read it.
Like they're only
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Discussion possible action, change the deadline to submit agenda items December 28th due to the holidays because we're gonna be gone. Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. 15, discussion possible action regarding credit card payment charge fees collected by tax assessor collector.
We had an individual under citizens' comments came up the other day that we were making money off the fee that we charged for credit cards. The fee that we charged is a fee that we incur because we use the credit card or use the system itself, and it's loaded, right? It's 2%, right? It's 2.5.
2.5. The convenience fees are in place to offset the interchange fees that are charged by the banks and the card brand, MasterCard, Visa.
How many people actually use a credit card?
She has that.
Since September 23 or October 22 to September 23, we had 1,621 people. And we send out
For a total amount of?
32,000 statements.
For a total amount?
Total amount of 896,862, and the fees on that were 22,420.
So we would have eaten $22,000.
And at the end of the day, though, we still accept cash. We still
Yes.
accept cashier's checks. We
Yes.
accept checks.
Cash, checks, money orders.
And one of the other comments was also that we make, that bottom line is, it seemed like all the services that we provide, the service that we provide for the city, the hospital, the school, most schools, bottom line is the fees that we charge, it's still less expensive for those entities to have us do it than if they were to set up their own department.
Right,
Right.
right.
Do you happen to know of those people that pay with credit cards, how many do it in October when we give a 3% discount?
A lot of them do. I don't know exactly how many, but a lot. Mhm.
So it would wind up being a 5.5% if we didn't charge the 2% fee.
Yeah, the 3% plus the 2.0, yeah.
Mhm.
And I hope that answers, the concern.
And there's
We're
the
not
tax
making
code
the
too.
money.
The tax code, it says requires the collector to accept payment by credit card, but allows the tax collector to collect a fee for processing the payment, not to exceed 5%. So we're like in the
And the
middle.
only fee that we collect is because that's what they charge us.
Right.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion on that? Y'all good? Thank y'all. Item 16, discussion possible action to update the court on fund balance of the USDA PN's improvements account. The total, as of December 7th, 2023 was 156. I checked a little while ago. It's a little bit less than that, but not much. Commissioner Flores?
Yes, Judge, the reason I put this item on the agenda, this facility creates money, money to the county, so, it needs some upgrading done to it. We need to upgrade the outside facility, the main entrance, the outside fans, the parking area, the outside office building walls, and, install some lights. The parking area, it's pretty small area, so the big 18-wheelers, when they go in there, they make sharp turns. They create, big potholes and they break the asphalt that's there, so I was thinking that maybe we can look into, concreting all that area, including the entrance and building a new fence.
The money as it was set aside, because we knew that there was improvements that were going to need to be done at the pins as we moved along. So, Commissioner, would you mind bringing this back with a dollar amount? That way we can get you that way the court can actually take a vote?
Well, I don't have a problem with that, Judge, but could we set aside some money? And once we get those votes, or we...
The item, and I was just rereading the item, and it does say improvement for pins. Does the item allow us to?
Because the item specifically says just giving an update.
Okay.
It's not on how those funds are to be spent.
Okay. So, Commissioner Flores, would you mind bringing back at the next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Give us an idea. I mean, I think it needs to happen. we drive by there at least 2 and 3 times a week. And, the entrance, no matter what you do to it, if you don't concrete it,
It's still going apart. And Judge, the other thing very important, we upgrade this facility and not let it become an eyesore to the community. It'll attract more business. I mean, more people doing import-export livestock in this border town.
bring us back, put it on the agenda in a couple of weeks. Bring us a dollar amount and have the court vote on it so we can move forward.
Motion to table and bring it back at the next meeting.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? All right. Item 17, we already did. Item 18, discussion possible action to reject bid 2311 for 2 used day cabs from Imperial Union for a total of whatever, and authorize purchases agent to advertise for formal competitive sealed bids. Funding will come from Precinct 4's capital outlay.
Motion to reject.
I'm sorry, if I may interrupt, County Judge and County Commissioners, it should actually read discussion and possible action to rescind order number 23-930 for bid 2311.
And to go back up for rebid.
Yes.
What's the quarter we're rescinding?
Number 23-930.
Okay. There's a correction?
At the end of the day, Judge, that's
Can't.
not what the item says.
Okay.
So we need to table it. Motion to table, bring it back to the next meeting.
Could we at least do the purchasing agent to advertise for formal competitive sealed bids?
This item allows you the ability to reject that bid and go out, but it doesn't have, it doesn't give you the rescind. You can reject the bid and go back out, but that's all you can do, right?
Well, no, because for there to be an order, obviously that bid was already accepted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now we'll just motion to table, we'll reword it and bring it back at the next meeting.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. David's winning today. Item 19, discussion possible action on authorize personally to advertise for formal competitive sealed bid to construct a fence at the USDA pins located at Precinct 4. Do you want to do this? Funding to come out of ARPA special project account.
Well, I'm gonna table that one too, because I want to include that on the.
All right.
Other part.
Commissioner Flores made a motion to table. Commissioner Vasquez seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 20, discussing possible action to select Water Splash Inc. as the highest ranked contractor to provide for services for RFP 23-17 turnkey splash pad at Long Memorial Park, and to authorize county judge to sign a contract once reviewed and approved by the county attorney. Second. And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, discussion possible action to appoint a committee to evaluate and score requests for proposals for construction of a baseball field and fence along Memorial Park.
I'll make a motion to appoint Melissa, Elizabeth, and Carlos.
Second that, Judge.
Have motion, Commissioner Nettleton, to appoint Melissa, Elizabeth, and Carlos, second by Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 22, discussion possible action for authorized purchasing agent to advertise for formal competitive sealed bids for 1 3/4 ton 4x4 crew cab truck for building maintenance parks department, and to approve funding from capital expenditures to building maintenance capital outlay for the amount of the vehicle not to exceed 76,790. Okay. The dollar amounts on this one, it's coming out of capital improvements that was already in the budget.
Yes.
But weren't they buying
A tractor, I
another
believe.
tractor?
Yes, but one of their trucks,
So they're switching it?
yes.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, discussion possible action to approve to add a new location, 2320, for the 2324 janitorial service for the DA's building 307. East 10th Street, the additional service will add $695 per month, cost of $4,995. Thank you.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 24, discussion possible action for approval to declare.
Motion to approve it.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 25, discussion possible action on approving Loop 79 commercial subdivision.
Second.
Your Honor, may I address real quick the topic?
Let him get up.
Okay.
If you don't
Well,
mind.
he was making a motion, that's fine.
No, he made a
Well, made a
motion.
motion, so we can discuss it.
Yeah, I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. And before, Ms. Markowski, or Ms. Smith, before you speak, if you'll just let him present what he's in, you okay? Okay. Go ahead.
Hello, Judge and Commissioners. The subdivision is located in the corner of Lewis Drive and FM 2523. It consists of a remainder of 15-acre tracts of an original 35.49 acre tract. It's owned by Industrial LP 79 and is proposed by Amistad Consulting Services. This property is located within the limits of the Joint Airport Zoning Board. However, there's no recommendation from the board. The intent for this site is of commercial use. Any additional modification is to be taken to the JASB for reclassification if required. And I'm presenting these for you to start the approval process.
And real quick, this property, as it was presented to the JASB, there was a motion. There was a vote taken, which there should have never been a vote because there was no second. So there was no recommendation at all given. The base, and I'm going to start off with this, that way we can be perfectly clear how come it's going to happen, or how come we actually have a motion or don't. The base did say that basically it's not in the area that stuff falls out of the sky. What do you call it?
APZ zone.
That one. I'll write it down.
And Clearstone.
Yeah. That it lies outside of it.
Outside.
And also it lies, the noise.
It lies outside of the 65 decibel contour.
And the reason I'm saying this, because I'd hate for other people just to begin to try to subdivide because we're allowing something less than 10 acres to happen. But there are certain rules that if it lies in the APZ zone, which this does not, then we would go with the 10 acres. I mean, it seemed like we want to go with the recommendation of the base, but their recommendation right now, the base recommendation today, and the meeting we had the other day was that it lies outside the zone, and the noise levels are less than
65.
Ms. Smith.
Thanks. Good evening. I represent Willie Hislop and Juan Carlos Vasquez on issues regarding the property around there. And the reason this has come up is because in the past, the Department of Defense did review that property back in December of 2022, and they didn't see a problem with the development. Of course, it's the same thing that you have to make sure there aren't solar panels, and now they're looking at drones and whatever. In this particular instance, it's one parcel of land that's been divided into two lots, but one lot is 10 acres and the other's 5. So technically, the subdivision rules don't apply, because the subdivision rules apply to dividing it into 2 or more lots of 5 acres or more. You only have one lot of 5 acres. So it doesn't apply. And the other issue was that for some reason, this property's brought people's attention, and we had a meeting. Mr. Hislop and I had a meeting with Janice, who's here, to clarify exactly the Department of Defense's position and to talk about what was in one of the drafts of the sustainability study, to clarify just what you said, that it's not in the APZ zone, and there's actually no zoning or no control over that unless, like I said, solar panels, they do other things that aren't compatible with Lawful Air Force Base's mission.
I'm gonna make a comment, which I shouldn't, but I will anyway.
Well, I was doing real well until she started talking.
The reason I'm voting for this and the reason I made a motion is this particular plat was automatically approved when we didn't do it in 30 days. We had 30 days to approve this plat, and this has been over 90 days. We've been waiting on this. So it's an automatic approval anyway, whether we approve it or not. The issue I have with it is not with the subdivision, it's with the set of rules that we have. I don't think we're put together correctly that defines what those zones are and how we're going to regulate within the bounds of those zones and adopted by both the city and the county the way it should have been adopted. I think we need to take the next step after we do this new, I call it J-Loose because they call it something else, to make sure we do the implementation and writing the rules correctly so we have authority to enforce the things that we need to enforce in the areas that we need to enforce them. I've had numerous conversations with the county attorney's office about this. But this plat was already automatically approved because this court only has 30 days to approve a plat under the new statute without a reasonable reason of why we didn't. So I do think we have some work to do with this new J-Loose that was done and writing the rules in a manner that define exactly who has what authority and how it functions.
And I agree with you. In the past, we've had discussions about the county adopted the model subdivision rules. So they're not unique, not specific to Governor County. And obviously, the way we're set up by the border, by the base, we have the Amistad Zoning Commission. The subdivision rules should be different than the model subdivision rules. So yeah, I completely understand your point.
You keep looking at me, I'm just
Because I'm waiting for you to say something.
I say nothing. You ain't gonna say nothing, right? No. Okay. All good. I did call Abner, and I visited with Carlos. I did call Abner, called Willie, asked him to please have Carlos bring it back and give us an opportunity to vote on it one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they would. So, like I told Willie, I appreciate that. When we go to take a vote here in a minute, I did have concerns about the 10 acres or the 5 acres. And me and you could go round and round all day long.
Right.
But either way, we'll set that aside. But one of the reasons that I'm trying to be clear here on how come this one's okay is because it lies, I had to write it down, it lies outside of the APZ zone. What scares me is that I don't want this court to be in a position to tell other people that they can't do it if it lies within that zone. So just to be perfectly clear, it lies outside that zone.
Yeah, and that was actually a point that Mr. Hissel's been trying to make for a few months, and so that's one thing both of you agree on.
Yeah. So, I've got a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. I've got a second, Commissioner Flores. Is there any other comments before we vote on this?
I'm going to abstain from that, Judge.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? 4-0 with one abstention. Not extension, but abstention. Item 26, discussion possible action on approval of replat of lot 20E of the Artesian Acres replat of lot 20 of the Black Brush Conchito subdivision.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 27, discussion possible action on a resolution accepting the Laughlin compatible use study, which is part of what we were talking about on item 25.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the resolution with a clear understanding that this is just us accepting the study as presented and in no way adopting it as the rules that will govern the Joint Airport Zoning Board.
I'll second that for discussion. What is the resolution? What does it include?
It includes the study.
You want to explain that? I just saw her. There she is.
Hi, I was hiding behind the podium. Hi, good evening. Janice Pokrant with Matrix Design Group. The resolution is just accepting the study. And what will happen then is there's implementation. There is a whereas that talks about the implementation and talking about moving forward with some implementation processes. There is grants that are available through the Department of Defense that could be applied for by the county, and being able to move forward with help, getting assistance to implement some of those recommendations. But it is still a process. It is still a public process that would need to be taken forward to do any kind of regulations.
But, this does not dictate anything on the SU Ranch property or any other property around, Laughlin?
It is not a regulatory document. It is just a study to look at and to be able to get some guidance over what would be a compatibility issue.
And that was, how come you made the motion that you're just accepting the study, you're not set the rules yet, bottom line?
Yeah. I would highly recommend this court look at applying for grants to do the implementation. As we see more and more and more development around the base, I think we need to put in place the things that need to be there to make sure that it is protected long term. And I think the implementation portion of this would go a long ways in writing the rules correctly so that they are enforceable. That is my recommendation to the court to do at some point.
Well, the thing about it though is though that we've already been informed by the people doing the study that there is a second step, and that is the second step. Right, exactly what he said.
Yes, sir.
Right. So bottom line is you're accepting the study, but before you start putting it into place or making it part of the statute or law, whatever, it still has to come back for this court, and we're a long ways away from that. You okay? You can your second? All good? Motion, Nettleton, Commissioner Nettleton, second Mr. Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Y'all did good. Thank you. Item 28.
Where you
done?
did that? Where you did?
Done. Item 29, discussion possible action on requesting 90-day extension for TMPC grant number 2022-01.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 30, discussion possible action on requesting a budget adjustment to QMPC grant 2022-01-13 with a renovation.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action on approving a 6-week extension to AR6, everything we're extending and asking for more time. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible action on approving a 6-week extension.
Thanks forever to get material and everything.
Everything else. Commissioner Nettleton, motion. Commissioner Vasquez made a second. All those in favor? Aye. Item 33, already talked about it. Item 34, that was already part of the other one. Is that right, Matt? No action needed because you already put it on with IT to move money. Item 35, discussion possible action on approval to authorize county judge to sign agreement, MRGDC.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Item 36, their Christmas movie have not brought, so we're doing it now.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Recognition of 25 years of service. There she is. Oh my God. Let's see how I can read it here. Congratulations on your retirement presented to Rosa A. Benavides and sincere appreciation for your 25 years. Right? Of outstanding commitment and dedicated service to Valverde County and Auditor's Office from January 4th, 1999 to December 15th, 2023. May you be proud of the work you have done, the person you are, and the difference you have made. And then it's the members of the court. Ma'am, if you will please come up here. There you are. I'll come up here. We'll get a picture with her if you can come around. Matt?
Oh.
You're gone.
Thank you.
You come up here? Why not?
Your daughter?
No.
My grandfather. Okay. You guys have to scooch that way. Scooch that way.
Can we put them in? The girls?
I think you have to.
Yeah. Come on in.
Come up there by your mom.
I'll scoot over.
Okay, Matt, turn a little bit.
You still miss it.
No, the other way.
There's a wall back
It
there.
looks like you're trying to grab it from her. I want to retire. Okay, everybody over here and smile. Very nice. One more. Awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I agree. Thank you.
Playing the role anyhow.
A long time. 25 years. Yeah. Well, so you were what, 16? When you first got in there, you go. I need to hurry up. I have no rest. Item 38, discussion possible action on approval. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 39, discussion possible action on the following budget adjustment increasing salary of John Clemmer, first Assistant County Attorney Civil, to $105,252, and issue checks accordingly effective with pay period commencing December 25th, 2023. The additional funds for salary and related fringe benefits will come from rural district and county. Before we make motion, County Attorney's Office Salary Assistant Grant under SB 22. There you are. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. Before we take a vote on that, these funds we've applied for.
We will apply starting January 1. That's when they're first available.
But you've already written the deal.
Yes, exactly. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there's a guarantee on the money.
There's a guarantee on the money, and the opinion is that it will revert back to, it could revert back to the beginning of the county's fiscal year. It had
But
been
you're just
done
doing
this
it for the
before, but we're
20th,
just doing it
23rd.
now. Just-
And I guess that's my concern is that if we're gonna start on the 23rd,
Right.
we're gonna end up with,
And if,
good chance we're gonna end up with money.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's, Josh, if there's any guarantees on grants, that won't be it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's my only concern before I take a vote.
Yes, sir.
Well, the funding's there, it just hasn't been distributed, they have to just come up with the rules and how to get it out.
And in the rules, it says, the county judge, county attorney, district, or their designees can apply.
Correct.
Is that correct? Right?
That-
And then
that's
we'll
exactly
figure out
right.
here in a little bit when we have another discussion.
Yes, sir.
Anybody have questions? No?
I've got one, Judge. Once this grant money, if we do get it and it's gone, what happens to his salary?
Obviously, this is dependent on that grant. So.
The salary is.
But I'm saying,
Right,
is there
this
gonna be an
portion-
adjustment?
This portion is dependent on that grant, yes.
If there's no grant money, there's no salary.
There's no increase.
Additional salary. Please. I will get there in just a minute.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Put my glasses back on. Item 40, discussion possible action on following budget adjustment creating the position of a crime victims advocate with Valverde County Attorney's Office with a salary of $60,000 salary, also to be paid out of position of the CVA will be fully funded by the Rural District and County Attorney's Office salary system. Jesus Christ, I got lost in that.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, and the same thing with this one. The question
Exactly,
we asked.
and the grant specifically allows for the creation of this particular position.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 41, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses state contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property and possible action open session thereafter, D 551.073 regarding the negotiated contract, lease, and or value of real property and possible action open session, E 551.076 regarding security audits and security personnel. If y'all will give us the room, we'll take a little break and then come back into executive session. If you will turn this off. We'll wait for the light to turn off. There it is. There it is. All right, I found my glasses. Came out of executive session. No action was taken. We talked a lot. Item 42, Commissioner's comments.
Judge, I wanted to wish everybody safe travels and a happy Merry Christmas before, and of course, a Happy New Year before it's all over. So that's all I wanted to say to everybody. Merry Christmas.
Anybody else? Same here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's pretty good, right? Uh-huh. Martin, do you want to ditto that one too? Anybody else? County judge's comments. Y'all be safe. We'll see y'all here again next year. God bless.
Be safe and stay cool.
Stay cool. I'll entertain a motion to
Move.
have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against?
Getting started with that is